smokers, folks, this ain't no dang jokers. 3 stocks, yes, 3 stocks have absolutely changed the game in the past 24 hours, and I want to cover exactly what these 3 stocks are and exactly what's going on here. This first stock is seen as more of a boring stock, okay? The next 2 stocks after that are pretty darn exciting stocks that are very, very volatile. So, hope you guys enjoy this video where I cover these 3 stocks. Let me know in the comments section if you own any of these 3 stocks, if you're interested in any of these 3 stocks. I would love to hear from you guys in the comment section. As always, also, just so you guys know, we have a free 7-day trial going on right now for the private stock group, the course curriculums, the Discord chat, everything like that. Check out pinned comment. We'll get you onboarded into the private group for that free 7-day trial there. First stock of these 3 stocks up here that has absolutely changed the game in the past 24 hours is Walgreens Boots Alliance, ticker symbol WBA. Very large investment of mine, needless to say. This is a stock that pays me out about $10,000 or just over $10,000 to me every 3 months in the form of dividends. I own the stock in this account as well as my dividends only account today. Big day, okay? $70,000 plus a day. I gotta say, it's been a while. It has been a while since I've had a stock that, you know, basically got me a gain of $70,000 plus in a day. It feels like it's been forever, okay? And I'm like more than thrilled about this. Now we are up over $200,000 on the stock now at this point in time. And keep in mind, that number doesn't even take into account all the dividends we've received over the past several quarters since I've been in the stock. When I bought this stock, it was probably December of 2020 or like January of 2021. So we've been in it for less than a year, and to have over 200K of gains plus the dividends, like I am more than thrilled about WBA, needless to say. Now, some really good news came out in regards to Walgreens today, okay? Two really, or a few good things, okay? First one was this: Walgreens to close 5 stores in San Francisco. No, that was, sorry about that, guys. That is the wrong one I pulled up here. Here it is, okay? Elizabeth Holmes trial. Walgreens paid $100 million to Theranos. No, sorry. Wrong one again. I do apologize. There it is. The earnings. There it is. Earnings were reported this morning. Earnings per share of $1.17 EPS adjusted versus $1.02 was expected. Revenue came in at $34.26 billion versus $33.3 billion was expected. That's almost a $1 billion beat in terms of revenue. Absolutely massive number. In the quarter, net income rose to $627 million or 72 cents per share from $373 million or 43 cents per share a year earlier. Walgreens earned $358 million or 41 cents a share from its continuing operations during the latest quarter. So very, very strong numbers out of Walgreens, needless to say. I love to see a double beat, and when you're a beaten down dog stock like Walgreens has been, where it's been trading in the 40s for, you know, much of the recent history, and you look at the forward P of the stock, yeah, it's in a prime position to any beats to the upside, you're going to get big moves, and that's why you see this stock, despite Walgreens not being a very volatile stock, it made a 7% plus upward move here today on these earnings. And that's how you get it. When you're a beaten down dog and the expectations are extremely low, all you need to come in is with something decent, like Walgreens comes in with the double beat, and next thing you know, your stock's flying high and there's $70,000. I will take it. I will gladly take it, okay? No, that wasn't the only thing. Walgreens invests in VillageMD. Walgreens to invest $5.2 billion in VillageMD, which is essentially they want their stores to become also doctors' offices, where right inside the store, doctors can fill out prescriptions as well, right inside the store, which makes Walgreens more of an ecosystem than ever before. And in my opinion, this is a genius move by Walgreens to pull this in-house. I mean, at the end of the day, if you can become an overall health destination, that's what you want to be. And so I love this move by Walgreens. I think it's a super intelligent move. And when you talk about everybody that's gotten the Rona shots and how relevant Walgreens is now, Walgreens is more relevant to a lot of folks out there than they've been, you know, any time in recent history. And so I love this move by Walgreens. I think it's a genius move. Roz Brewer is already starting to make a positive impact on the company. I've spoken about this many times when I talk about this company before. Roz Brewer, she came over from Starbucks. She was a COO of Starbucks. Huge, a very important person when it came to Starbucks digital transformation. And she just did an outright phenomenal job at Starbucks. She also used to be on the Amazon board of directors. She did have to leave the Amazon board of directors because she took over this role as CEO of Walgreens in some way, Amazon is considered a competitor to Walgreens, so she had to leave the board of directors of Amazon. But, you know, she's just so well connected. She also used to be the CEO of Sam's Club division, which is owned by stinking Walmart. I mean, it's absolutely amazing. I mean, you think about, you know, it's like a dream person to take over the reins as CEO, and she's already making a positive impact on this company. Imagine where Walgreens is going to be at in 2 or 3 years from now. So definitely very, very thrilled with the move she's making there. That's the first stock, Walgreens Boots Alliance, WB. Second stock up here, very good food company, which just changed its ticker symbol to VGFC. Very good food company, just changed it very recently here. And this is one we're doing pretty decent on so far, up 33,000 on this position here for a very good food company. I own it in another account or two. A very, I would call it more speculative stock I hold. Much smaller market cap, plant-based food company here. So in regards to the very good food company, several things going on here that just happened recently. Just got onto the NASDAQ. So there's obviously long-term, that's a huge thing for this company. Like the fact that they can be listed on the NASDAQ is a massive game changer for a very good food company over the long term. However, in the short term, it's kind of not a good thing. And when I mean short term, I mean extremely short term. Just for the mere fact that a lot of people are confused about the ticker symbol change and like where the stock even went. Like, is it still a public company? Things like that. As far as why it's up big after hours, I have no clue why that, you know, why it's making such a big move after hours. But needless to say, very good food company is in an interesting spot. And you look at the stock price, it's been just about everywhere. It went through its massive hype cycle into that January timeframe, like a ton of these hyper growth stocks, which very good food company is a hyper growth company. If you look at their revenue growth, recently it's been triple digits. Like there's just a lot of stocks that are growing triple digit revenues, right? And so when you're growing at that type of pace and you got into a hype cycle, the stock went absolutely parabolic. It has come back down to much more interesting levels. And in the $200-something million market cap, this is, you know, it's a much more interesting stock than it's been, okay? So that's obviously a long-term bullish thing. Now, this news came out here today. Not many people picked up on this news, to be quite honest. The very good food company launching pilot program in China. Very good to pilot launch its flagship brand, the Very Good Butchers, in China to reach new consumer set in early 2022. The enhanced distribution will allow Very Good to enter a new market, widen its consumer base, and continue making its carefully crafted plant-based meats accessible to all. I mean, this sounds like a massive deal, needless to say, like colossal. Like it doesn't get much bigger than this. I was almost shocked when I saw this. And I want to speak about why I don't think this had a huge uptick on the particular stock price today. As far as what did Mitchell Scott, the CEO of this company, say? He said, "We've seen an increase in consumer demand for plant-based foods in China, and we're thrilled to be introducing our plant-based meat alternatives on a different continent," said Mitchell Scott, co-founder and CEO of the Very Good Food Company. "We're guided by making plant-based eating accessible and approachable for all, and this is a significant milestone for us as we look to increase distribution to a brand new geographic region and reach a new consumer base. This move is the perfect next step for us as we're continuing to grow and become a global brand, accessing new markets and raising the plant-based meats bar all around the world from North America to Europe and now Asia. Very Good is working with partners in China to assess the importation of its products and supply chain logistics to execute a successful plan. The company is executing on its larger growth strategy, and the new pilot launch in China is only beginning, okay? Now, first off, this is crazy big news, right? Like, if you're a food company, there's nowhere you would rather participate than China, especially a plant-based food company. Like, you know, that opportunity dwarfs any other market. Like for instance, I used to be an investor Beyond Meat, right? BYND, and I might be in the future as well, by the way. And I'm an investor in Tattooed Chef. I mean, I can tell you, I could see Tattooed Chef and Beyond Meat, their biggest market in a decade from now being China. And probably by a lot. It won't even likely be close. And so it's very interesting that the Very Good Food Company already wants to go over to China. Now, why did this not make the stock go up a bunch today? Well, remember, they just got listed on the NASDAQ. There's a bunch of confusion right now about their ticker symbol and getting news about the Very Good Food Company because they had the exchange change, right? And they had the ticker symbol change. So that creates a situation, right? Now, on top of that, and here's why I was excited about this, but I was kind of like, I don't know about this. Because at the end of the day, I look at Very Good Food Company, and it's such a young company. I mean, they're so young, it's ridiculous, right? Like, no one ever heard of this company a year or two ago, and it's awesome. They're building up their brand. Their revenues have been skyrocketing. Everything with the company, their distribution, things like that. But I look at this company, and I'm like, they're just barely starting to become an infant company in the United States right now. Is it really the right time to go to China right now? And I'm worried that the management team is not going to be able to get things right in the United States, or that they're not going to be able to get things right in China, or they end up messing up the whole dang thing because they get too unfocused, right? Because the executive team at Very Good Food Company is limited, right? It's not like these folks have been running a multi-billion-dollar company for years. They're just starting to scale up this business. As somebody that's a shareholder of this company, and as somebody that obviously is somebody that's used Very Good Food Company products, right, and eaten them, I'm excited that they just barely got packaging down. Like, this company's packaging in the past was horrible, like just awful. They just barely fixed this very, very recently, right? And as far as their taste of their products, I'm not the biggest fan of the taste of their products. Now, some of these products I got in the shipment here today, I got to try some of these new products out and see how they taste. But I haven't been a big fan of how a lot of the products taste, and so that's what's honestly prevented me from making this a bigger position. Now, maybe there's something here where the taste of these products will be preferred by folks in China rather than the United States. Like, we know, folks have different tastes in different areas, right? What somebody likes, that's in this country is different than another country. There's certain things that are eaten in different countries that, other folks can't even consider, right? And so it's interesting, but I'm not putting a lot of weight in this move with China. I'm not expecting this to be some sort of massive success. If it is, man, is that a crazy game changer for this company. I can tell you, if they're successful in China and really build out this brand, like, holy smokers, like, Very Good Food Company stock is going to be no joke. Let's just put it that way. But I have very low expectations going in. Very low expectations. And so the good news is Very Good Food Company has nothing but upside in this situation because my expectations are so dang low in this scenario. So, yeah, needless to say, this company is just barely getting around in the United States, and we're going to see how they expand in the United States over the next few years. And simultaneously, they're going to try to do this thing in China as well. So, man, I'm excited to hear more about what they have to say as far as this move goes, and hear more detail, hopefully on future conference calls and things like that, and how it's going in China. My expectations are low. My expectations are so low that if they pulled out of China and they said, hey, we just couldn't make it work in 6 months, 12 months, like, I wouldn't be surprised, and it wouldn't make me sell the stock. Like, that's how low my expectations are. So we're almost playing with house money here, where literally everything is upside here. If they actually make it in China and they start building this brand successfully, like, geez. I mean, yeah, this stock, this will be a company that will be valued at billions of dollars if they could successfully do that. My expectations are low. My expectations are in 6 months or 12 months from now, like, yeah, now's not the right time for China. We're just shutting that market down. That's my expectations. Hey, it's all upside for me. It's all gravy. Like, hey, I'm rooting for them. If they do it, man, am I going to be a happy shareholder? That's all I have to say about that. But I am pleased with the packaging changes they made recently. They are getting to a much better level as far as all that goes, okay? Next stock up here we're talking about is Avant Brands. Avant and Very Good Food Company are my two smallest positions by a mile, right? Two smallest market caps by a mile. Avant Brands doing pretty decent on this one so far. We're up $33,000 on Avant Brands, ticker symbol AVTBF. This one uplisted not too long ago, and also this one changed its ticker symbol. It used to be called GTECH, but it just didn't fit the brand name. It makes it almost sound like it was a technology company or something like that, when really it's a Jack Jackson play. And so I'm happy they changed their name to Avant Brands. I think that was a good long-term decision. It's created a problem in the short term where folks are still confused about, like, is that still GTECH, or is this Avant? Like, is this a new company? Things like that. So anyways, it's the old GTECH, same company, super small market cap, obviously. Interesting as far as the stock price goes. Back in 2018, the stock was flying high, and that was kind of right around the time when a lot of the Jack Jackson stocks peaked. And then, you go to 2020, and a lot of folks figured this company was done. Let's be quite frank. They figured this company was done, that the stock was going to go to literally zero and it was going to be delisted. Obviously, that didn't happen. The company's revenues turned around in a massive way. I got involved with this stock, and obviously, the company overall thrived. A lot of investors saw the results, the underlying results, the revenue growth, and all those sorts of things, and it's been up and away. You know, obviously, it got caught up into the whole January kind of hype cycle and had to come down from there. But needless to say, like, this is a huge success for the company overall. Now, piggybacking off that situation, it's a few days ago, somebody posted this in the Discord chat. Norton, the CEO, he says, I could have cashed out before we went public, talking about Avant, right, or what used to be GTECH. He says, I would have personally walked away with over $10 million for about a year of work. But hey, where's the fun in that? I'd rather take no salary for 2 years, work my butt off for 5 to 10 years, and build something truly meaningful. Here he says, when the pandemic hit, I deferred my salary. Then I also sold personal assets so we could make payroll because I didn't want to lay off anyone. The company owed me almost $500,000 by the time we closed our financing. So, I'm pulling for this company. Like, I'm a believer in it. I'm a shareholder of it, and we're going to go over their earnings that just came out here. We're going to go over those earnings. But ultimately, like, I'm seeing stuff like this, like Norton's putting out on Twitter, like, that's big stuff. Like, how many CEOs would actually do that? It makes me definitely root for this company. I would love to see them become a big player in the Jack Jackson space over the next 5-10 years. It would be amazing to see that, honestly. I think they're actually in a pretty darn good position. When we look at their earnings that just came out here yesterday, late last night, okay? Total gross revenue was up 29%. Total net revenue was up 32%. Those are the most important numbers for me personally. That's what I'm going to always look at, those year-over-year numbers and what's the growth, right? I'm not in Avant Brands for the short-term net loss or net income. I don't care about that. I care about revenue growth. I'm in this company because I hope they can become a $500 million market cap long-term, right? Or $1 billion market cap long-term. And you're not going to get there based upon short-term profitability metrics. You're going to get there based upon revenue numbers, right? If you look at recreational sales, those were down 7%. I would love to see those uptick. Somebody else posted some stuff that Norton had put out on Twitter, which basically was talking about they switched some packaging sizing that hurt their sales for recreational in the short term. So hopefully we see a bounce back next quarter and moving into future quarters when it comes to recreational, and we see an uptick there. And then the area we saw a massive uptick was from their Israel deal, essentially. B2B sales up 823%. Quite a substantial rise in revenues there. Now, they had a bunch of things hurt margins. Obviously, the B2B sales, much lower margin. That hurt margins. Also, they uplisted, which hurt margins. So they had a bunch of things kind of working against them in the short term as far as margins go, and it makes the numbers look really out of whack as far as that goes. But the story for me when it comes to Avant Brands is revenue growth. The day they stop growing revenues, that's the day I'm going to worry about this stock. As long as they continue to grow, get bigger and bigger, if they make money on the bottom line, sweet. I'm super happy about that. Like, awesome. But for me, this one's 100% about revenue growth. I would love to see, them eventually doing $10 million a quarter in revenue, and hopefully $20 million and $30 million, and just continue to scale the business bigger and bigger, scale their brands bigger and bigger. That's what I want to see in this one long term. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video about these 3 stocks. Let me know if you own any of them in the comment section. I'd love to hear from you guys. As always, all I ask in return is that you smash that like button before you leave. Appreciate it in a huge way, guys. Also, if you want to take advantage of that free 7-day trial, we're running out of spots for that. So if you want to take advantage of that before they're all filled up, check out pinned comment down there. Much love and have a great day.